Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to cover Chapter 1, TI NSpire Skills. Now, this part's only going to correspond to quantitative data, so we might have another part for categorical variables. So we're going to go over data entry and data sorting, the statistical summary, which helps us give us the values of mean, standard deviation, the 5-number summary, which is min, Q1, median, Q3, and max. And from there, you could even use Q1 and Q3 to calculate the IQR. We're going to go over the dot plot, the box plot, and the histogram, and how to go between those different plots, and how to adjust the bin settings for the histogram. So let's dive on into this. So with the calculator, we're still learning a lot about this. We want to make sure we know how to navigate between pages and all that. The two favorite buttons you're going to have are the home button and the menu button. For this, we're going to start with the home button, and we're going to go to the Excel spreadsheet to enter data in. So I'm going to use this problem here. This problem here talks about the different ratings between Apple and Samsung. So we're just going to enter that data in. So what you'll do is on this column right here, this is where you put in the variable name. And this one we're going to put in Apple because that's what we want to put. And you could take the time to actually input the data. Now, if you go through my data set, you'll actually notice that it's in descending order, but usually most of the time data will be chaotic. So we'll do something where we could put this in ascending order. What you could do is you could take the control pad and you could select up on this column and make sure your entire column is selected. And from there, you could select menu. Again, remember, home and menu are two favorite buttons. So we're going to select menu and we're going to choose actions and we can sort the data. Now, if we sort it, you notice that it says sort by A. This is sorting column A. And then we're going to choose ascending. So basically, when we look at all the values, it's increasing in value as we go all the way down the data set. Now let's also enter in another data set, the one for Samsung ratings. So one of the things we'll first recognize is that this data set has more data points. And then we're going to also put this in ascending order as well. So you could select up. You're going to go to menu, actions. We're going to sort this. And then now it says range B for B column. And then we're going to put this also in ascending order. So you'll notice that as we go down, you'll notice that the values are increasing. So let's go into the statistical summary. How do we get all the values that we need? Mean, standard deviation, median, all that in one go? Well, we're going to select menu. We're going to go to statistics. We're going to go to stat calculations. And I know it's tempting to select two variable statistics. We're not going to choose that. We're going to select one variable statistics. And this time we're going to put in number of lists 2, one for Apple, one for Samsung. So for my first list, we're going to just literally select Apple. And for my second list, I'm going to literally select Samsung. And then all the results will first appear in column C. So when you see this, you'll notice that there is this X with a line above it that corresponds to your average or your mean. And you'll get the average score for Apple and the average score for Samsung. This is some other stuff we might use later on, but this is probably more important. SX refers to the standard deviation. We have 3.76 and 6.73, this one for Apple and this one for Samsung. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll notice that we have what we call our 5-number summary, our minimum, our Q1, our median, Q3, and max. And then you get all the values corresponding to that as well. Now let's move on to graphing our data. What you're going to do is you're going to select the home button right here. When you select the home button, you can select the little icon that looks like a bar graph. Notice that we'll have two tabs here. 1.1, that's where all our data is. 1.2 is where the graph will be. You could move between these by hitting Control left or Control right, since you guys don't have a mouse and keyboard like I do. And what you could do is, again, you want to use your finger to select this touchpad right here, and it'll move it like a mouse right here. And you're going to click on this bottom part right here, and then you'll get Apple or Samsung. And we'll get the first dot plot for Apple. And if you try to click for Samsung, then you'll just get Samsung. But most of us want to see them side by side. So let's first get Apple. So to get Samsung in here, you need to right click. And unfortunately, on this device, you don't have a right click. So how are you going to do this? Well, you're going to mouse over this, and then you're going to hit Control right there, and then Menu. And if you see that blue icon right there, that essentially is the right click. Now, because I'm on this device, I actually have to literally right click. And then we could add an X variable, and then we're going to add Samsung. So now we have Apple and Samsung right next to each other. So now we have two dot plots, and you could look and compare the shapes. You can notice that Apple is skew left, Samsung, I don't know, roughly symmetric, whatever you guys want to say about it. We can also take a look at different kinds of graphs. So for example, we could look at the box plot. So we're going to make this into a box plot. Notice that it automatically calculates the outliers for us. So if you hover over it, you could see the outliers 73, 76, 79, and then you can hover over these to get the different points. So if you don't want to use a 5-number summary on the summary statistics, you can just go straight to the box plot as well. Now we're going to also go into the histogram. So you're going to go to Menu, you're going to go to Plot Type, you're going to go to Histogram, and you notice we get our histogram. Now, what if we want to change our bin settings? Notice that these are in units of 2. What if I just want to do 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100? Maybe that's not the best setting, but maybe that's what you want to do. So you can go to Menu, Plot Properties, Histogram Properties, and we're going to change the bin settings. It's very unlikely we'll ever use variable bin width. We're typically going to use equal bin width in this class. And then let's say we want to use widths of 10. And the alignment is where it's going to start. So we're going to start at 60, and I'll go 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and 90 to 100. Wow, that doesn't look very pretty at all, but maybe we can adjust the zoom settings to make this fit. So we can hit Menu, we're going to go to Zoom, and we're going to go to Zoom Data. So we can see a little bit better. Now, clearly, this was not the best setting. Now, if you do look at these bins, you'll notice that it goes from 60 to 70, we have 1 data point for Samsung. 70 and 80, we have 10 data points. And from 80 to 90, we have 12 data points. So you can mouse over it to get how many points you want in that. Now, in my class, you typically don't want just 3 or 2 bars for a histogram. Typically, we want like 5 at minimum. So let's change our bin settings one more time. We're going to go to Menu. We're going to go Plot Properties, Histogram Properties, Bin Settings, and we're going to change the equal bin width to maybe something like 5. And now we can see a little bit more of the shape. We can see the nice skew left on the Apple. And you could also almost conclude that this is skew left as well for Samsung. Some people may have disagreeing opinions on that. So that is it for today's TI NSpire skill. I hope to see you guys next time.